What's up everyone? In this video we're going to join the room Vulnversity on TryHackMe, and we're going to use different techniques such as active recon. We're going to perform some web application attacks, and by the end we'll try to gain root privilege on the web server. So I'm going to use a VPN for that. So I'm just going to start the machine. And again, we're just going to focus on the questions for each task. And so let's just begin with uh, starting the machine. So the first task is to deploy the machine. This is done. So we're going to move to the second one. And this is just to get as much information as we can from the target machine. So to do this, we're going to use nmap, and we can see the switches or flags that we can use in conjunction with nmap. So nmap is these tools that allow to sniff, not sniff, but to collect information from a target, such as which ports are open on the target, and also which services are running on those ports and what are those services version. And we can even explore some flows on these services just by using nmap. So just going to complete the first requirement. So we don't have questions, so I'm just going to answer or to submit the solutions as we move forward. Just scan the box and say how many ports are open. So I created a folder where I'm going to store all the information related to this room. So I'm going to use nmap, and you can see the information about which flags I'm using. So I want to determine the version of the services running, and as C I want to use nmap default scripts, and I don't want to try to resolve the host name, and at the end I want to save these to a text file. So I'm just going to edit this IP to the one assigned to this machine. So it will start scanning. And so let's see, we have to identify how many ports are open, what is the version for this service, and how many ports will nmap scan if the flag -p 400 was used. So this is going to be 400. And using the nmap flag -n, what will not resolve. So this is related to DNS. So just going to type DNS, and sometimes it's useful to use hint. So we know that DNS is used to resolve host names to IP or IP to host names. And what is most likely operating system this machine is running. So we're going to confirm that with scan result, and what port is the web server running on. Again, we're going to check that with nmap result. And we have some explanation there. So let's see how many ports are open, and we can see that in open state we have 21, 22, 139, 445, and 3128. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 353, 6 ports open. And going to type 6, and it's correct. Now what version of squid proxy is running? So squid proxy, you can see here is 3512. Going to paste. That's correct. And what is the most likely OS running? and we can see here that it says Ubuntu. We could use a different flag on Nmap to try to discover the operating system, but this is the correct one. So what port is the web server running on? And we can see here that the Apache or Apache, whatever you want to call it, it's running on this port 3333. As Apache is the web server, so I'm going to submit and it's completed. Okay, so we're going to move to the next one, and we have information about which ports are open, are available. So now we're going to use GoBuster to search for hidden directories on the application, on web applications. So we can see the flags that can be used with GoBuster. Okay, and let's see if we can write this. And so the GoBuster, and I already have this here, and we can see here the syntax on how to use it. It's GoBuster dir -u, that's the path or the URL, the port, -double, and the word list. So this is going to get a list of files that's going to be used to match against the web application. I'm just going to replace here the IP for this application, for this machine, and we're going to run GoBuster. And so it's going to find some directories. We can see here that it's already found CSS, image index, internal, and JS. So we can mark this as completed. And the question is, what is the directory that has an upload form page? And we can see here, thanks to try-hack-me hint, we see that it has a lot of characters, and just by looking at the directories found, we can assume that the longest one might be this one, internal. So we're just going to copy these and paste, ensure it's the right one, and we can go to this directory. So let me just copy these and open directly, and we are able to find the hidden page that we can use to upload files to the web server. So moving on to task 4, and now we're going to use barb, because we need to upload files to the server. And if we try to upload a file, let me go to downloads and try to upload these. So this extension is not allowed. So some files are allowed and some aren't. So moving on to next one, we have to launch barb. So I have barb already running, and so that we're going to make a word list with the following extensions, and to see which type of files will the server accept. Okay, and we can see the instructions here. We're going to intercept the request once we try to upload, and we're going to send these requests to intruder. That's another barb module, and we're going to perform an attack to see which type of files will be accepted. So you can see, we can follow the example there, and we have to create PHP text. Actually, that's theme, not at. And so we're going to type PHP, PHP3, PHP4, PHP5, and PHML. Okay, going to save that. And now let's go to the application. We're going to enable our proxy so that the request will be sent to barb. We're going to upload the file again. So this was captured by barb, and we're going to send this to intruder. Now on intruder tab, go to positions and just going to clear all of these. And what we want is just to select this part, because we only want to find out the extension that's going to be accepted. So we're going to add this part, and as payload we're going to load the file we just created. That's PHP text, and we're going to start the attack. We're going to press OK, and we can see that all of these extensions will be accepted by the server. So I mean, disable these. So if we look at the next question, it says what extension is allowed, and by looking at the hint that TryHackMe gives us, you can see that it has 3 characters. So it won't be the first one, so most likely to be the last one. So it's going to be PHTML. Okay, so moving on, we are able to upload files to the web server. We already know which extension the server accepts. So right now, we're going to create a script so that we can perform a reverse shell on the web server. And we can get this script from here. And let me copy all of these. Okay, and I can close this. We don't need anymore. I'm going to discard this, and just going to call reverse shell dot PHTML, and going to save this. And we have to change these two variables. So here will be the VPN IP address, and here can be this port or any other port that we might want to change to. Okay, now let's upload the script into the web server. Let me refresh this. Yes, going to browse to our folder, phm, Vulnversity, reverse shell, and you're going to submit, and it was accepted. So the next step will be to rename. So this is just the name of the file, but the next step will be to enable netcat on our host machine, so that when we reach the script, it's going to make a connection from the web server to our host machine. So we're going to type netcat, going to be listening. We're going to disable verbose, and the port is going to be 3434. Okay, so now let's navigate to these. I'm going to edit this script. In my case, that's going to be reverse shell, and here is going to be the web server application. So that's 2228 and 213. Okay, and let's see if this works, and it does. So now we have access to the web server thanks to the script we upload on the web server. Okay, so let's see. Yes, we are successfully connected. And what is the name of the user who managed the web server? So to get these, we can look at etc password PASSWD. So that should tell us which users exist, and just by looking at this file, kind of guessing, choosing, we can find that we have Bill and it matched the number of characters there. So if we type Bill, and that's the correct answer. Now what's the user flag? So if we look at on the current directory, we can't see anything. So let's try to get to Bill home user. So that should be under home, Bill, and if we list, we can find this file. And let's copy this and paste it. Okay, and we're able to get the flag as well. So the last one, we have already access to web server. So now we're going to try to gain root privilege. So the first thing is we can find for files that have the SUID bit set, meaning those that can run with root privilege on the server. So if we look at the hint, this is the command we can run to find out which files have SUID bit set. So let's pass this, and because I don't want to see any errors on the screen, I'm going to send this to null and make the script run. So it's only going to return those files that have the SUID bit set, and I'm allowed to see it. So we see all of these files, and the question says what file stands out. Just because I already know these from previous rooms, so that should be bin system ctl, and if I pass this, that's the correct one. Now we know that this binary has the SUID bit set, so let's see if we are able to gain root privilege by compromising this binary. So one way to do that is by looking at GTFO bins, is where we can find the binaries that can be compromised. So we're going to look for systemctl, and you can see if the binary has the SUID bit set. It may be abused to access the file system, escalate, or maintain a privileged access as SUID backdoor. So we're going to take advantage of this. We're just going to copy, and we're going to change the script a little bit. If we copy and paste this script just the way it is, it won't work. Okay, and if we try to read the file, so it didn't work, the script. So we have to make some changes on this. So we're going to replace the script. Okay, and what we want is to change this on bin bash and we want this bin desync ctl, and going to run bin bash. Just a note here, I didn't write this script on my own, so I found it on internet, and this is the one that I thought that it was easier to apply in this scenario. My bash skills aren't that great, so I'm just going to copy and paste this onto the server, and let's see. Yes, and we have root privilege. So if we try to read root txt, and we are able to read it. So let's copy this and paste. And that's it, guys. We hacked Vulnversity web application. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.